Let's see here. Dallas says, would love some refs on the show. They really are some dang good ones in our state. Yep, and they are. And I used to be in that world, so I still have some good relationships with them. But, bring them on, not only talk about –
Jeff the ref would be a good one
Jeff
to
the
have
ref,
on.
that's who it's going to be. First one.
He'll be a good one.
Very good.
In fact, he wants to come to the studio. I said,
does he?
I said, we can do it on, video.
No, I want to be there.
He wants to be here.
He wants to be here.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Jeff is a big supporter of ours, so
Awesome,
if he wants to be here, we'll be here. But I just want to make it easy for him. But the referees, not only rule changes for this year, I don't know if there's anything big, but in high school football, there's some big ones in college football.
Yeah.
But, have him, and also, how do officials handle coaches? Because I always think it would be hard as a football official, because if you're on this sideline and what the official on the other side is perceived to miss a call, this official here has to hear from that coaching staff the entire time for something someone over there did.
Well, a lot of things, some things that they did change to mix it up is that they switched the sidelines. Yeah. They switch at half.
Last year or 2 years ago?
A couple years ago. But Bryson's crew, he keeps them on the same side. He has them there. You're staying there all game. You're staying there all game.
So that is at the White Hat's discretion?
I mean, according to Bryson, it was when we talked to him.
Yeah, Bryson McSwain, a good official, but also a deputy, a sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, got a gun.
He's got a gun and a badge, Phil.
Who's going to tell him no?
Two of my favorite things.
And he has that appearance too. That When I learned it, that checks.
Yeah.
Because he delivers cookies at the state basketball tournament.
Oh, that's him?
That's him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad I've always been nice to him.
Yeah.
Love me some Bryson.
So.
Didn't he bring cookies? No, we were teasing him about cookies last year.
Yes.
We had him at Rock. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah. Him and his wife do a great job with that. So.
I said, you going to have any? He goes, I don't need that crap. You could tell.
Yeah, you can.
I just sell them.
But, it's always important. We're always looking for game officials, new officials, because a lot of them are retired. Leland Searcy retired, I think, last year. Congratulations to him. He was inducted into the Oklahoma Officials Association, along with Terry Porter. There's, I think, 5 others, but those are the 2 that I know very well.
The GTP.
Yep.
And I know that kind of stuff. I know when you get – I'm talking about Terry now for a second. A legend in refereeing. I mean, just an absolute
50-plus years.
How is he just now getting in the hall?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, because that he's done it all. I mean, he's called the biggest games on the biggest stages. He's been on ESPN. He's been viral before.
There's a 30 for 30 on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and he got the call right.
Absolutely.
I will say real quick, Terry Porter's story. He was in Orlando for some bowl game. I don't know if it's the Gator Bowl or the Peach Bowl, whatever, on a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon. I can't remember what it was. And then he came. It was a bowl game, so it was in December on Saturday. Came back to Oklahoma and officiated at Mulhall, Orlando on Tuesday, and he said he was more nervous in Mulhall, Orlando because people knew him.
That old saying, they broke the mold. They really broke the mold with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, him and I, we didn't get off on the best foot.
I was there.
But I'm going to tell you something. We became friends.
Yeah.
And he's a good man. He's a great official. He's a great dad. Raised a heck of a son in Casey
and daughter.
Porter. And daughter. But I don't know the daughter. I know Casey. Raised a heck of a family. And again, I know we said this before, but I'm thrilled that he's finally getting that recognition. Now, he would tell you.
He don't care.
He doesn't, and he's not just saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, he
might not even show up.
Depends on what needs to be done around the house. But he is one of the most unique characters that's ever walked the planet.
You said unique. I'll tell you, we were umpiring. We were in Perry when I was up and going, and we were leaving the locker room, and he brought a lawn chair. I was like, you bring a lawn chair? Well, I'm gonna sit down in between innings. I was okay. Well, you're Terry Porter. You do you. Chris Ross, good question. Is ref shortage worse this year? I have not talked to Grant Gower, who overlooks the officials for the OSSAA.
Good question. We need to find that out.
And that will be definitely one of the questions that we get asked Jeff Murray. And I'm hoping to get Jeff Murray, or hoping to have Jeff Murray on before the next show, and so you guys can get that. But that will definitely be one of the questions that we ask.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to say probably yes, the ref shortage is still there. I don't know if it's gotten a little better or not.
Yeah.
They've done a good job the last few years really promoting the fact that we need officials. I mean, they've done, and for those of us that don't like Thursday night high school football games, and I raise both hands as a guy that doesn't like them, I understand there's situations and timing when it makes sense. But, it's Friday night lights, not Thursday or Friday night lights. It's Friday night lights. It's always been high school football time. That is a part of it. I mean, you just don't have enough refs to go around to cover all the games on Friday evenings. But I would think it's gotten a little better just because they've worked so hard to recruit officials in.
And I tell you, if you want to be official, you can obviously go to the OSSA website and do that. But you get in, like when I got in baseball, I had to work pretty hard to get to the state championship level, whereas it's a little bit quicker process to get there. Yeah. So take advantage of being around good people. That's the most important thing. If you do get into officiating, is to be around good people, and that's a thing you can do in life. If someone's good at cooking, you hang out with someone who's good at cooking.
Find yourself a great mentor and hang on to them.
Absolutely.
And they'll take you for a ride.
Dallas says it was good to see 8 officials at our scrimmage last week, new refs and old refs.
That's good.
And
really good.
We went to the scrimmage in Bethany, had a good
there's a couple guys I've never seen before as well.
Yeah.
I know they've worked really hard to try to bring people in. And that's another thing. You don't become a first-year official and all of a sudden be ready to call varsity games.
Yeah.
There's a ramp-up period to that, right?
And the great thing with football, and the same thing with basketball, is a lot of those guys work junior varsity games as well, and that's the perfect time on Mondays to
get better.
Junior highs on Tuesdays and Thursdays and get better.
It's a different perspective, guys. I mean, when I watch it on TV, I can see everything. That's a penalty.
You're on the field.
But when I'm on the field, like last week against Elgin, that was a holding. It's not as quick.
Yeah.
It's not as quick.
Well, officiating is impossibly hard.
It is
impossibly hard, and then you add in. Now they get paid a lot of money.
They do.
They're filthy rich. These guys.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously sarcasm, but for the junk that they put up with.
Yeah.
I mean, and listen, you can't have a talk about officials and a shortage without talking about the behavior of fans and the behavior of people that's also contributed to this shortage. I mean, who wants to go out there and be belittled and treated the way they are? Believe me, they want to get every call right. Nobody's trying to get a call wrong. I mean,
except for that one official I sent you
that
guys.
video you sent?
Yeah,
who was he mad at?
What state was that?
I don't know sure what state it was.
That was horrible.
Move the ball, pull the chain back, first down, let's go.
Chris Frost says, I just wonder how they can keep the refs and coaches when all the attempts the OSSAA has made to punish the rule-breaking schools seem to be overturned somehow.
Let me read that. Read that again.
I just wonder how they can keep the refs and coaches when all the attempts the OSSAA has made to punish rule-breaking schools seems to be overturned somehow.
I think that's a great point.
Help me out.
I think what he's saying is we got rules. We make the rules. People don't follow the rules because OSA is doing, in my opinion, a great job. If there's a rules violation, well, we'll just sue you, take you to court. Judge overturns it. Rules don't matter. I think, number one, we're teaching kids the wrong darn things for life.
Do that for too long. Anyway.
I mean, we're teaching them if you don't like a solution, just sue somebody. And just keep going until hopefully you find somebody that agrees with you. I think that is a part of it, Chris. I think there are people out there that, if I'm a coach, and we all know people that used to be in coaching and officiating that have gotten out, and sitting next to one, right? I mean, that have gotten out of coaching because they're going, well, this isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, and so it's, I agree with Chris's, I think his intent in this. Chris, please correct me if I'm not interpreting that right, but I think it's simply saying we just don't follow the rules. I mean, it would be frustrating as a coach, an administrator, an official. It'd be frustrating.
Hunter says it perfectly. Can't please everyone.
Well, you can't please everyone, but in life there are rules. There are rules. I mean, that's.
Chris kind of goes a little bit further, like banning the girls' wrestling team last year. I think he's talking about Edmond North. Then they let them wrestle after all. I think the ruling was made on that, and then I think the school came back and said, hey, we're going to not have this parent here.
Banned him.
Banned him. In that instance, I understand the ban because they were warned twice. And the first one's a warning. The second one, they could have their season suspended. And I think it sent a pretty good message where the coach, the girls team's like, hey man, what do we have to do? And now they easily say, hey, it's banned.
They know they're serious. Yeah.
They know they're serious. So I would hate for the girls program to be banned from their wrestling year because of a parent.
The actions of one parent.
Although they were warned. So it's a good point, Chris, because I said if I was the athletic director, of course, I'm on the outside. It's easy for me to say this. But if I got my first warning, I would say, hey,
you're gone.
We love you, but we cannot put our girls in danger of being banned.
Head coach too, yeah.
And I think what Chris is saying,
I think that was a lot of grace by the OSSAA.
A lot of grace, but I also agree with Chris.
I do too. I do.
I tell clients all the time in our business, sometimes you got to shoot one to get the other ones to pay attention, and that's unfortunate, but sometimes you do, and so I agree with Chris. And now,
Chris with the C, Chris with the K.
K.
Okay.
Rarely agree with Chris with the C. Okay. But
because Phil is correct. So
I didn't see that. Chris is genius. He's an absolute genius.
Me?
No, K.
Okay.
K. Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
But seriously, I think you got to stand firm on the rules. And again, I think David Jackson and I think the OSA does a fabulous job. I guarantee you their intentions are pure every time they make a decision. They don't have a dog in the hunt or in the fight.
Yeah.
But I think they're case by case deals. I think in that case with the Edmond North wrestling team, they said, "Are we going to punish these other 6, 7, 8 kids because of the actions of an adult?" Now you can make an argument because remember the kids were the ones who were caught in the middle of it. The adults at the school didn't take firm enough action quicker, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah. No.
Like you said, after that first one. Get him out of here.
Love you,
I'm just surprised the dads from the other girls didn't take the guy out back and whip his butt and say, you can't be here no more. He didn't even got to that far.
What if that other dad was a 3-time national champion?
Well, then you get more than one. You get 10 of them.
4 or 5 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but yeah, you definitely I always say, has got to enforce the rules.
Yeah.
Anybody who's owned a company, who works for a company, if you don't enforce your own rules, people are going to walk all over you.
And I'll say this. Years ago, I had a young man working for me that I grew up with. And because of that, he started believing that the rules didn't apply to him. And I warned him 2 or 3 times because he was my buddy. He wasn't just a guy I grew up with. He was my buddy, right? Mm-hmm. And I had to fire him. And it took 2 years before he'd even speak to me again. Yeah. But 2 years later, he finally said, yeah, you were right. But it killed me. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do it, but sometimes you have to draw a line in the sand.
Got to follow the rules.
You do.
Jared says after the warning, that parent would have been banned from any school, even if I was the AD. Yeah. It's tough. Hunter has my back. Thank you, Hunter. Chris with a C makes good points about banning people.
Hunter wants something.
Hey, here we go. Jared from Elgin.
Hey,
good to see you, Jared.
Hello, Jared.
Hello, buddy.
I get the shortage of officials, but we need to expand the number for the quarters or semis in the playoffs. Keep up the good work, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
we've had this discussion before, and I'll just go ahead and talk about it. And Chris has a good rebuttal to what I say, but I think you're absolutely right. I think it's important to have a long side judge on each side, not just the guys down the line, but the 2 extra guys that are going down the line to see those long plays, especially in big-time ball games. But Chris does make a good point, but I think it would be better to expand those officials like they do in baseball. They do the same thing in baseball. You go 2-man all year long, then you get to the playoffs or to state tournament, you get 3 or 4. It was a 3, and then you get 4 for the state, right?
3.
Is it 3 for the state as well too? So yeah, they do that in other sports. I'm with you on that, but Chris will tell you a reason why they think they'll go there.
Why is that?
Yeah, same thing. I will use baseball and basketball as an example. If you go 2-man officiating crew, even in baseball, the rotations and what you're looking at changes as a 3-man. So now you do 2-man all season long, and then all of a sudden you go 3-man, especially in baseball with young umpires. They don't know the rotations because they hadn't used it until the games that really matter. But I think in football they do have like other officials, with the white hat. To help
they have on the side.
Yeah, on the side.
On the field. But to expect that side judge to get down there to a 40-yard bomb, and see if he's in bounds or not when he catches it, that's a lot to ask for. And again, these officials are very, very good, and they're professionals. And what makes them professionals is that if the OSSA comes out front and says, "Hey, look, you guys know who you are, who's in the running for a state championship game, state playoffs." you got to know the 8-man rotation. You have to know this stuff if you want those spots. So they can absolutely figure that stuff out on their own because they're professionals. Those guys, the guys that call these games, they're 100% professional and they're very, very good.
But I think also the great crews understand the situations that are presented during the flow of the game. And I think they pay attention and say, okay, this is 3rd down and 14. This is probably, they're paying attention to these teams.
Yeah.
And so you see the great crews. I know there's always an exception to this, Ronnie, but the great crews usually aren't out of position. They usually put themselves in a place to be where they need to be. I don't see any harm in adding officials.
No.
To the point, if you have the numbers to do it. I think it'd just make for a better called game overall. It takes some of that pressure off those guys.
It's just so hard that when there's a guy running on the sideline and this first side judge is right there on the side, he has no idea if the guy stepped out of bounds or not. But if you had those guys on the other side down there, they can see all that stuff. And I think that can affect the ending of a game.
And football officials are the most graded. I mean, that's how they get graded by the coaches that week. And so your grade plays a big part for football officials to get postseason assignments.
Now, I will say this, okay, and this might upset some of our officiating friends, but I have seen crews over the years that when you see them on the field, you go,
I think that's because the lack of officials have pushed other crews up that probably shouldn't be at Owasso Bixby that night.
Or is it also perhaps they're beloved, they've had a great career, and this is their last year, so we're going to put them in a state championship game as a reward?
I don't know. I maybe in other sports, but football is graded, so it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good grade, you're probably not going to get the assignment that you might want as an official.
Yeah, coaches know that stuff. They pay attention to that.
I think it could play a factor in other sports, though.
You know what I mean? And I'm just here to tell you.
Basketball for sure.
I'm just here to tell you, if I had a guy that gave 40 years of their time, life, and energy, and it's their last year, and you guys know me, I'm a loyal dude. I'm the kind of guy that say, no, I don't care that he can't walk. We're going to figure out a way to get him out there. And that's when having extra officials would be good.
Yeah. Chris adds, I get crew continuity, but the kids and coaches deserve it. I believe it is better for the officials as well. They have a better chance to get it right.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And
the best thing they did was have those white hats that aren't in the actual game next to the head coach. I mean, that's been outstanding.
I will add one more thing when we talk about officials, and appreciate you checking out the show. And we will be talking about some games here in just a second, but all these great questions, we want to address it. And it will be different next week because we'll have games to talk about and predictions and rankings changing and all that. But I would add that 3 basketball officials, when they go to Coyle, that's a lot of money for Coyle Public Schools for 3 officials. Phil said that, they make pretty good, decent money, but 3 officials cost a lot of money.
I'm talking about for playoffs and state championships.
Plenty of money.
Quarters, semis, and finals.
Correct.
I agree.
There's plenty
Not during regular season. That's too much for the schools.
There's plenty of money to go, I think, in the playoffs. There's no doubt there's plenty of money for that. So